tax cut extensions, and not just because she might like the Dallas Cowboys. So, Senator, ain't a done deal yet, is it?
No, it isn't. It's a done deal in the Senate. The vote was 82 when I left the floor. But it is not a done deal in the House because you have people on both the right and the left side criticizing some part of it. And I think that's unfortunate, but that's the case. And
apparently the source of contention and debate is going to be the estate tax provision, right? The agreement has been for this 35% estate rate. It's at 0% temporarily right now. But Democrats want to raise it still higher. And remember, if nothing were done, it would revert back to 55%. So by that math, folks would be better off. But nevertheless, is there a point at which you, Senator, would say, no, this is getting stupid?
Right now, with those comments, absolutely. I think that I'm against the death tax at all. I think it walks away from the American dream. This is money that has been taxed and taxed and taxed again. Why would you tax it again and keep a family from being able to give to their children the fruits of their labor? So I'm against the death tax, period. But I think that Senator McConnell came up with an excellent compromise, a proposal that would get us at least a couple of years of kind of a regular death tax with a lower rate. I think it was a good compromise, and I think the president was smart enough to see that that was the right thing to do, having seen the election results in November.
But, Senator, you know, there are a lot of Democrats who look at this plan and say, well, you know, Republicans might agree to whatever this estate tax ultimately is, and just merrily come back in January and change it all over again. In other words, they don't trust you.
Well, you know, the last thing this country needs is to come back now and change it before the 2 years. The good thing about this is we now know for 2 years that the tax issue is settled. So we can start working on the spending cuts that are really going to get the deficit down.
Well, wait a minute, ma'am. I just want to be clear when you say that this is settled. So let's say you get a cap gains rate that might not be accepted, not you, because it's done in the Senate, but it goes to the House, and they change that cap gains rate to 45%, maybe with a higher income threshold of 10 million. Who knows? Mug's game. Now, let's say Republicans in that body, they all sign on to it and say, that's all great. We'll just change it ourselves when we're back in the majority in January.
That's just not good policy, Neil. We've got to show American families and business that they can have 2 years of knowing how to plan. That's what will increase the jobs. The reason that small businesses are not hiring right now is they don't know what their commitments are going to be in taxes and the health care costs. So to start playing games and say, well, we'll change it now and then we'll come back and change it at the first of the year is absolutely the worst thing we can do. We need to see this through. We need to stay here as long as it takes. We need to give the American people 2 years of tax policy that they can count on that has predictability and stability. And the compromise that the president and Senator McConnell and Congressman Boehner came up with is a fair and good result. We need to do that, get it behind us, and then move forward on the spending cuts that are really going to attack this deficit.
Senator, we'll watch it closely, as we will your Cowboys. Happy to say one of the few teams doing worse.
I do love the Cowboys, for the record. Thank you, Neil.
You got it. You got it. Thank you, ma'am. Very good seeing you. Have a Merry Christmas.
Thank you very much.
Well, to the person who says not okay, meet the Republican senator who was the